Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to start some microgreen seeds. I think I've only done this one time before and it didn't really work that great. So I really wanted to give it another try and see how it went. My friend Laree from Wagon Wheel Homestead, go check her out on YouTube as well as her new blog, wagonwheelhomestead.com, and she is just a wealth of information. We went and visited her at her homestead ranch out in Nebraska this last summer, and so I also have a video about that. Since then they've built a new big barn and a whole bunch of other things, but she is fixing to do a whole bunch of posts on microgreens. She actually grows them and then sells them at her local grocery store, so she does really well with them. Anyways, I placed an order with her link at True Life, and I just got my order today. It's really a delightful package to open. So first of all, the box is really pretty cute for a cardboard box. But check it out. Look at all this fun packaging. I think it is just adorable. So I wanted to show you guys what I got. I got 2 packages of the black oil sunflower seeds. What you doing?
Working.
You're working? I got 2 packages of the black oil sunflower seeds. These are 4-ounce packages, and I think I ordered 2 of them partly so that I would have enough to do several trays and whatever of, but partly because if you get a certain amount ordered, you get free shipping. So to me, it's generally worth it because you're going to be paying about that much for the seeds anyway, so you might as well get seeds instead of paying for shipping, right? Okay, so I got that. I also got China Rose Sprouting Radish. I got mesclun mix. It's mixed green lettuce. It's like a salad mix is what I've got. And so you can see down here there's the salad mix, there's spinach, pink Swiss chard, arugula, endive, kale, mustard, several different types of the mustard. So that. I got the Waltham 29 broccoli, red Russian kale, and I believe these are the pea seeds. These are the dun peas, and I got a pound of that. Anyway, the packaging is super cute. Now, I did oops on the pans. So these are supposed to be the shallow pans, and I accidentally ordered the taller side. However, I didn't go back and try to correct it because I can use these pans for whatever, you know, for starting seeds and such later on as well. Now these, what's really cool about these pans, there's a set of, I believe, 5. These ones have holes in them, and I'm going to be setting them inside of these ones that do not have holes in them. You can bottom water these, and you're going to have a lot less trouble with rot and all of that because they're just going to soak in the water into these pans up here. So I'm really excited to grow some of these seeds. I've got my potting soil, which you really don't need anything real special for that. It's just potting soil into your pans with your seeds on top, and I think you water the dirt first. I will have to make sure on that, but you're gonna water so that everything's nice and wet, and then you'll put your seeds in, press it down, and you'll actually stack your trays. You'll put a brick on top or like a paving brick, paving stone. And then you're gonna wait for your seeds to germinate. Once they start germinating, they actually start pushing the pans up. It's super cool. And then you can take off the brick and separate them and allow them to continue to grow. But I'm so excited for these just nutrient-packed, dense little sprouts to eat. Especially are these going to be nice during winter months when we're not getting a whole lot out of the garden. My garden is starting to grow. If you watch back a couple videos, you'll remember we planted radishes and chard and lettuces and beets, carrots, all the early spring crops, and the peas. And so all that is coming. But now that I have this nice seed growing system that I showed you all in the last video I did, I want to really be able to utilize that fully, and especially during the winter months, and have some microgreens growing for our use. Now, one thing that you do want to make sure of when you're planting these microgreens is that you have seeds with similar germination and finishing time. In other words, you don't want to get a certain variety of seed that takes 14 days to complete its process and then another one that's done in just 6 to 8 days. You want to have very similar timing with all of your seeds so that you are planting, sprouting, harvesting at very similar rates, especially if they're in the same pan. But if you're stacking your pans together, you're going to want them to sprout right around the same time. I just pulled this bag of potting soil out, so I do have this here, and I think this will probably work just fine for me, although there's plenty of other bags of potting soil that you can get cheaper, I'm sure. Meanwhile, since we're here by the growing racks, I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update on our seedlings. They are growing so nice. You'll notice that I have the lights nice and close so that the sprouts aren't reaching up high towards the lights or anything, and yet they're not touching. Just about, but not quite. So they're all just looking so beautiful. So many beautiful and wonderful tomato varieties all growing so good. And then we'll come down here to the next shelf, and I've got so many peppers. We've got the Better Bell, the Notapeno, sweet pepper garden, salsa, jalapeno. I've got eggplant, and look at those cute little celery. Over here, I've got some cabbage, a few more tomatoes just for fun, more canning varieties, quite honestly, that I'll plant down in the lower garden. I also planted some violas, or is it viola? Which one? And they are coming up very nicely as well. And then I've got some marigolds growing, which will pair very, very nicely with the eggplant down here. Did you know that if you plant marigolds next to eggplants, that it deters the bugs from the eggplant, and then your eggplant can actually grow? I don't know about you, but I've had an awful hard time growing eggplant in the past because the bugs would just eat it up. If you plant marigolds all around your eggplant will survive. Just a tip there for you. Whew. Just slightly chilly out here. All right, guys, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get one of the trays here that has holes in the bottom, and we're going to stick it inside of the tray. We're gonna stick the one with holes inside the tray without the holes, okay? All right, got it. Now, the next step is that you wanna get 14 cups of dirt. Now, I will try to remember to link the trays. There's several different varieties of ones at True Leaf, and probably in retrospect, I would have gotten the, well, I definitely would have gotten the shallower ones. All right, let's put 14 cups of soil in our pan. All right, so I'm just going to be patting down the dirt in the pan just a little bit here. Making it level and smooth. Don't I look like I'm having fun? I'm going to be planting some of the greens. Well, they're all greens. How do I say this? I'm going to be planting my peas and my sunflowers probably tomorrow, because they do have to be soaked overnight. I really wasn't thinking about it. I knew that, but then I really wasn't thinking about it. And then my friend Larry reminded me. I was like, oh yes, that is right. Okay. All right, so I am going to be doing half pans of things because I want to try them all out, right? I want to see what we really like and what we enjoy, and then I can order more of that. So I think what I'm going to do is put the broccoli and the radish ones in one pan, and then the salad mix and the kale in another pan. Now, in a full pan, you would do 32 grams of seed, but I'm going to do half, so I'm going to measure out. They're smaller seeds. I'm going to do 16 grams then. So here we go. I've got my little scale. There you go. There's 16. Can you see? I hope so. I'm just going to be putting these pretty thickly right in here, and I'm just going to do half the pan. So that was red Russian kale, and now I'm going to try the mesclun mixed greens. Look at these. Maybe I don't want to put that together. Let me see what these look like. Okay, I'm actually going to do the broccoli with it, sorry. Okay. So I ended up doing the broccoli and the radish together just because they're very similar seed size. Okay, so next I'm going to be measuring out the radishes. These are China Rose sprouting radish, and then I'm going to be measuring out the mixed green lettuce. You also want either 32 ounces for a full pan or 16 grams, or 16 grams for half of a pan. Alright, so I want to get my sunflower seeds soaking so that I can plant them. Preferably you would soak them overnight. I would love to be able to plant these tonight. So we'll see. I'm just going to start doing them. So a full tray is 125 grams. I'm going to be doing 62.5 grams. So you really use a fair amount of the sunflower seeds. I probably used half of a 4-ounce package just for like a half of a pan. So this would probably seed an entire pan. That's a lot of seeds. Anyway, that one's done. I need to go grab one more bowl and then we will measure out our peas. All right, now I'm gonna be measuring out the peas. I think it's 100. 112, I believe. All right, here's what they look like. All right, there we go. So now I have these measured out and I can soak them in water and get them nice and soaked. Well, apparently my hose isn't the best, is it? What we're gonna do here is just wet the tops of the seeds here. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need a different sprinkler top. This is ridiculous. You just want everything nice and wet. Preferably with a better watering system than I have going on here. So these two trays are done. And I'm just gonna take them, stack it right on top of the other tray, and I'm gonna stick an empty pan on top of that. And then I just have a couple of old bricks that fell apart, and I'm just gonna set them on top just like that. Now the weight of the bricks is going to help the little seeds to push their roots down deeper into the soil instead of just like sitting on top of the soil and not doing so great. And that, I believe, is one of the troubles that I had had when I tried before, is I didn't have a good weight on top. So basically you plant and then forget for several days. Now before I start cleaning up or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead. I've got my 2-pan system here, one with the hole, one without the holes, and I'm just gonna add dirt to it so that it's ready for me to plant my peas and sunflowers later on this evening. I have to go run some errands and do some things, and I'm just gonna let them soak while I'm gone. When I get back, I will just spread them out. It's preferable that you let them soak overnight, but it's okay if they're, you know, it'll be okay. So I'll put them on top, and then I'm just gonna set that pan underneath this one, and I'll show you guys later. But first I'm just gonna go ahead and add my dirt to this pan. I do have like a 2-cup solo cup here, so it's 14 cups of dirt, but I'm like stuffing it full, so I'm just doing 7 basically. Just kind of getting it to a certain level. Then you're patting it down like I did before. Just kind of gets it even for you, a nice even surface to plant your seeds on, because especially those little seeds like to roll around and not stay put as well. All right, that looks good. That's ready for a little bit later on. All right, guys, well, it is inadvertently the next morning and my seeds have soaked overnight. I was planning on planting them last night, but just had so many different things going on taking me out of the home, and anyway, I'm seeding these really quick before I go in and wash the dishes and start the school and doing all the things. This time of year is busy, am I right? All right, let me show you how I do these real quick, and then we'll go put the tray, or I will go put the tray underneath the other microgreens, and then I will catch you back in a couple of days once they start sprouting. So I just have them sitting down here on the bottom shelf, and let's just peek underneath, shall we? Look at that. Okay, so they're looking real good. So I'm gonna take the weights off here. And then I'm going to take the trays into the house and give them a nice little watering. And then I'm going to get them underneath the light here. So here's my tray. I've got it on a spray here. And there you go. And we'll check down. We'll check back here in a few days and see how it's going. Guys, I cannot even believe how much these have changed overnight. Look how much they're already up. Isn't that incredible? There they are. Now, here's the thing with the peas and especially the sunflower seeds. They could have been underneath the blocks, the weights, for probably at least the rest of the night, because if you'll remember, I started them the next day after I started these. So I probably could have left them underneath the weight just a tad longer, because you can see like they're not as sprouted as the other ones were, but they'll be fine. So anyway, there's the morning after taking them off of the out from underneath the stack and the bricks. So for the microgreens, you're gonna want to bottom water the radish and all those types of sprouts. The sunflower and the peas you will top water. So you'll want to water them with about a quart of water each pan. Okay, here's the second pan. And then I will take this pan up to the sink and I will just give it a nice little spray, just like I showed you guys when I first took it off the weight. All right, that's it for now, and that's about what I'm going to be doing probably about every day, so until they're ready to harvest. I am just amazed at how these are growing so quickly. This is the next day and the greens in their progress. Sunflowers and the peas are definitely progressing slower, and like I said, if I would have kept them under the weight and the cover a day longer, it probably would have had better results for me, but live and learn. We'll do it next time. But these are just looking amazing. And there's today's update. Well, I believe it has been 1 week since I planted these microgreens, and it just is amazing to me how fast they've grown. I mean, these are level with the light now. Look at that. So they will be ready to harvest very, very soon. Just a couple more days worth of growing. I've just been bottom watering them about a quart of water a day, and that seems to be about what they take. And you can kind of tell that, well, this one still feels fairly wet, but that one there is a little more dry. And then I just top water the peas. and the sunflowers. So here we have our finished product. We have all these great microgreen sprouts. Wow, they are ready to be harvested and looking really good. So we're gonna try them out here. I have made a little sandwich here with some homemade sourdough bread and a farm fresh egg. And now I'm gonna be putting some microgreens on top. So to harvest your microgreens, you're just going to take a kind of a handful, if you will, and a very sharp knife. From what I hear, if you use scissors, it crimps the end of the microgreen and then they don't last as long. So I'm just going to be taking a sharp knife and just sawing them off, if you will. I'm just going to put some of those here on top. Right now I'm just going to try a few of each kind just to see how they taste. And at the end of this, I'll decide which ones I want to grow again and which ones I don't. And if we all really like them and utilize them, I will most likely go ahead and get just a couple of the short trays that are 4 microgreens from the True Leaf. I might even see if they have like half trays or something. Anyway, this is the lettuce mix, and I don't know, it almost maybe could go a little bit longer. I'm not positive on that one, but here that is. Look how good that looks. Oh my word. All right, let me see what they taste like. All right, I do really like the salad mix. I think the salad mix tastes really good. Very nice and mild. Try this one here. That one's definitely radish. You can just taste like this. Well, it almost tastes like you're eating a radish. It's interesting how that is. Let me try this one. Wow, that one's spicy, whatever that one is. Woo! See, I need to know what what each one of these is. I love the pea ones and the sunflower ones. They are so good. So good. So, yeah, I would definitely do this again. I would definitely grow the microgreens again. Like I said, I probably would just do some smaller amounts, maybe just 2 trays, and just kind of pick the ones that we like the best. Because I don't know, are we going to eat all these before they go bad? Now, they do last several weeks in the fridge if they're in an airtight container. So that's good news right there. And our weather turned like all wintry again and cold. So I think that these are wonderful to have on hand in the house. Super easy to grow. I'm just amazed at how quickly and how easily they grew just under some light with a little bit of dirt in the house. All right, let me try this out. Really good and really messy. I love how the greens taste on top of the bread. They don't taste so strong as if you were just to eat a singular piece of them. So I really am impressed. It really tastes good. And yeah, I'm gonna link my friend Lorie's post. She has a blog post and she also has made a YouTube video on how to do this, and it's so simple and easy. And she also has a bunch of links down below in her stuff as well. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna get to harvesting these, and let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever grown any microgreens, and if so, what are your favorite ones to grow? I would love to know. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.